Want you to take that small moment, take a deep breath in, and let your tears fall. If that means you need to cry, then cry. I just want to I think everyone never admits how much this can be, but rejection can sting, right? It always stings. Whether it is rejection or heartbreak, but it can sting. I have completely an understanding of how you're feeling right now. I completely do, because I've been there. I've been there where you've been rejected and so hurt, where it feels like you have this confusion building up in your mind. You don't know how to feel, you don't know what to say or what even to do. You just have your mind wandering around it. You're feeling the hurt, you're feeling confused, you're feeling the pain, but you're not sure how to handle it. I have faced that in my life where I was not going to admit to myself that this person in this situation does not need me or want me. But instead, I'd found myself constantly seeking and chasing after that validation, that attention, and that affection, just to feel that acknowledgement from the situation and from the person for them to just say, listen, I see how you're feeling. But you would do so much things out of your comfort zone just to get a little glimpse of that validation from them, or just for them to notice you. If you've ever felt like this, or if you're going something through this, hello and welcome to Gracefully Growing. Today we are going to be talking about rejection and heartbreak. Now, I've been there. I just want you to take a moment to accept and validate the feelings that you're going through and the emotions that you're going through right now, because I've been there and I understand. I want you that when you watch this video, it is sort of a reminder to leave this video knowing who you are, knowing your worth, and knowing that it is completely okay, because everybody faces it at some point in their life. But before we do get started, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below sharing your story or any more tips you want to know, or any of your tips that has helped you deal with rejection or heartbreak in your life. So get comfortable, let us get started. Grab a blanket if you need to, and let us dive right in. Just be honest for a moment. I want you to acknowledge your pain. Don't ever think that your emotions of feeling angry, sad, or even hurt is unvalid or unworthy. Because let me tell you, the more you suppress those emotions and thinking that the more you suppress those emotions and just pushing it to the side or shoving it away, is actually making it so much deeper and shoving it more deeper and deeper away. And in the end, you are just going to find yourself stuck. I cannot completely understand how it feels that when you find yourself shoving all of that pain away or pushing it to the side, but wondering at times when you're alone in your bed or lying in bed at night and thinking about this, it all of a sudden starts replaying in your mind, and you finally feel the real emotion. You're finally realizing and understanding, I've been putting this facade on, and now I'm finally admitting to myself that, wow, I was actually just rejected. This actually happened to me. In that moment, you're alone with yourself. You're alone with your thoughts. Immediately, you're starting to think all of these things. But I want you to do in those moments is never ever suppress that pain. Never ever suppress it. Admit. Don't be afraid to admit yourself that you have just been rejected from a certain person, certain situation. This rejection can happen in so many aspects of our lives, and never really understanding how to deal with it or how to handle it. Because if you find yourself suppressing that pain and not acknowledging it, you're going to find yourself in situations like I have. I've been in situations so many times because I was just afraid to admit that I've just been rejected, or afraid to accept it. I would find myself constantly chasing after validation from other people, from that person, and from the situation, from group settings, from friends, chasing that validation of wanting to be the loudest, the most confident, to do things that I never even wanted to do. Never have I ever found myself in a situation where I would want to do things that I didn't want to do just because I wanted to feel seen, I wanted to feel heard, I wanted to feel validated in that moment. It has made me, because I was always suppressing those emotions and suppressing that pain, is in moments where I didn't realize I was doing things I didn't want to do only because I wanted to feel seen from by this person. I wanted to feel heard and I wanted to feel validated. If you are suppressing that pain right now, I just want you to stop suppressing it, because you're going to find yourself in situations and in unhealthy ways of seeking validation that you're not even going to want to admit to yourself. You're going to find yourself in those situations and just finding yourself doing the most things and doing the most harm you would ever do to yourself. And it is not the healthiest way, because I can understand that if you do not acknowledge the pain right now while you're watching this video, or just pausing it and taking a moment away alone with yourself and actually admitting and accepting to yourself, this just happened to me, but it is not making me undeserving or unworthy. And I know how that can feel. You are not alone. Know that you might feel alone because you are going through something like this. But let me just tell you that you are not alone. How many people all over the world has experienced some sort of rejection in their life? That could be from jobs, that could be from life, that could be from school that you've always wanted to go to, that could be from opportunities that you're excited for, that could even be, let us just be real, or as well, from a crush, right? So I know, and how many people or how many of us has dealt with that kind of rejection. There is so many different aspects of rejection in your life, but I just want you to understand and know that you are not alone, because it doesn't make you weak or it doesn't make you broken, but it just makes you a human being. And understanding that you are a human being is realizing that you are going to come out more stronger than ever and more wiser than ever. Now that I have given you a little bit of a background, I want you to understand where this root cause is coming from. If you find yourself or you have a little bit more difficulty getting over of a rejection or anything as that, sometimes, or getting over that heartbreak or something in a more deeper level, I want you to understand right now that sometimes it could be just because of your insecurity or insecurities that we faced, or from people pleasing. And I've been there. I was in a sense where you always find yourself not under, because you're not getting to the root of the problem, you find yourself doing things and acting a certain way just to feel noticed by the person or by the situation, just to feel seen, to feel heard by this person or seen. Have you ever found yourself in a situation or in a group setting or even in just a public setting, right? And let's say that it is in a situation where they're standing in a distance or something like that, and all of a sudden you find yourself acting in a way you would never, speaking in a way that you would never speak, acting in a way that you would never, just to feel seen by that person or by that person, just to feel heard and wanted. And that is what I was not even realizing at that time, is that if you constantly find yourself doing that, that means you are chasing after the validation from that person and the situation itself. Now I want you to start shifting your perspective on this whole entire thing. I want you to start shifting your perspective on it. I want you to stop thinking that this rejection you've just experienced in your life is life working against you, but instead reshifting your focus on thinking that life is actually working in your favor. What if this rejection in your life is actually redirecting you on a different path, is actually protecting you from something you know that is not meant for your higher self, is not meant for your best self to go through. You know that you are deserving of good things, of better things, and you should always think in that state of mind. If you are stuck in your pain about that rejection, change your perspective to start thinking about, okay, this is God's redirection in my life. This is God's protection. God is protecting you and I from something that He knows is going to be far difficult to get out of. And we are actually deserving of good things in our life. Don't you agree? I want you to start thinking of it as this is probably never aligned for the growth you meant to experience in that season or in that phase of your life. That it is actually time to let it go, and that you should accept what better, that something better is going to come in from this rejection. Understand, okay, you rejected me. That is because you didn't, not just because you don't want me, but it's because something good is gonna about to come in. Something so much better is about to come into my life. If you constantly find yourself lingering on that pain and lingering on it or replaying on it, it is means you're showing God that you're not deserving of that good thing that is supposed to come into your life. It means you're not ready to receive that blessing. You're not ready because you're constantly just pondering on it so much instead of accepting it is what it is and I need to move on. And I definitely know this is easier said than done, because there's so many times where you just want to ask yourself the question, or ask this yourself, where you find yourself asking the questions over and over. Do I deserve this? Did I just deserve that rejection? Am I unworthy of anything? But I want you to change that and understand you are deserving of the best things in your life. You need to start reprogramming and shifting your mind to realizing that things are working always out for your good, never against you. It is always, and in those moments when you're feeling that pain, I understand it is difficult to see it. But if I was still stuck in that pain, I would have not been sitting in front of this camera and speaking about it, speaking about the experience that I've been through to help someone. I would have not been sitting here and recording this video, having healed, having done the work to move on from it, having worked on myself and still working on myself. I would have not been here if I still dealt or was still pondering or was still focusing so much on that rejection at that time. I would have not been sitting in front of this camera and showing you that it is possible to get out of it, and that it is possible to shift your perspective on it. And all I want you to remember now, that if people reject you in your life, if situations, if jobs reject you in your life, it is never a reflection of something wrong with you, but it is about them. It is always about them. It is either they're having a lot of issues to deal with. Anyways, who cares what issues they're dealing with? But let me just say, it is always about them and never about you. That I've gone through my experiences and my understanding of what rejection is, I want to give you some steps on this and guidelines on how to heal from it. Now, I'm gonna say number one is feel it to the fullest extent. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to journal, journal. If you need to pray to God and ask Him for guidance and help, do so. If you need to speak to someone, do so. Feel those emotions. Feel what you're going through. Understand what you are going through. Don't try and suppress the emotions, because let me just tell you, the longer you suppress it and the longer you shove it away, or the longer you deny the fact that you've experienced something like this, the more you're going to end up hurting yourself. And I've been there. I've always found myself not or refusing to admit what had happened, and I was hurting myself even more. Step number 2, I want you to speak kind words to yourself, okay? Start taking your power back and start taking your energy back, please. Stop using words as a weapon against you. Stop using words as a way of breaking you apart, breaking you down, constantly making you seem weak and unwanted or broken. Stop doing that to yourself, but start using words as a way of empowering you, as a way of strengthening you, and reminding you how deserving and worthy you are of good things that needs to come into your life. Start reminding yourself and start telling yourself how good you are, how worthy you are, how much you love yourself, and how much you deserve the good things that happens in your life. When I faced rejection, I always used to deny when good things were supposed to come into my life, because I was like, no, I can't accept this good thing in my life because I've just been rejected. So what makes me deserving of that good thing now, when I wasn't even deserving of it back then? But I want you to start using words as empowering yourself, and start as strengthening yourself, to remind yourself how beautiful and how perfect you are. For the right opportunities, for the right person, for the right moments, and for the right experiences, you will be perfect, you will be worthy, and you are worthy and are perfect of those opportunities. Start speaking to yourself as the way you would care for someone you love. Start speaking to yourself like that, because if you constantly using words to break you down or to hurt you, you are going to find yourself in something and in a struggle that is not easy to get out of, because I've been there. Number 3, I want you to start setting boundaries. Stop disrespecting yourself by allowing the people that hurt you or the people that rejected you to come back into your life. Stop doing that. And I know it can be easier said than done, but until that person's actions matches their words, if it does not, stop disrespecting yourself for the work you've actually put on yourself to heal, the work you put in yourself to focus on yourself, to work on your goals, to whether that be becoming healthy, losing the weight, doing what you need to take care of yourself. And now you want to disrespect yourself by allowing someone who hasn't healed to come back into your life. I want you to stop going back to situations and to people that has hurt you. But I want you to start setting boundaries and working so hard on yourself that you cannot even be bothered by the smallest issues in your life, but that you are creating, and that you cannot even have the space, the time, the energy to even think about creating a space or giving someone the space or the audacity or even the energy to disrespect you. Start setting those boundaries. Start setting that boundary. Or is start reconnecting with your worth. Start reconnecting with your self-worth. I want you to start working so hard on yourself. I want you to start healing. Start journaling if you have to. Start seeing a therapist if you have to. Start speaking to God, because He's the only one that can help us. He's the only one that can guide us on how to heal and how to grow and how to learn from mistakes, how to learn from experiences. Start working on yourself, whether that be going to the gym, eating healthy, listening to podcasts, watching healing or self-development videos, whether that be learning an instrument, learning a language. Become so occupied in your life with you. Become so occupied. Start working on your self-love and your self-worth. Because the more that you do that, the more you realize how much deserving you are of good things. Because when the minute you notice the slightest thing that makes you feel uncomfortable, or that is disrespecting you, or that is making you feel hurt, the moment you experience this, even the smallest amount of it, is when you start understanding that you don't deserve this. You do not deserve this. Start working so much on yourself and building yourself into who you actually want to be. There's a reason why you're always getting thoughts or envisioning yourself in a specific place, and acting a specific way, dressing a certain way, speaking a certain way, being in certain places. There's a reason why you're doing that, why you're thinking that. So start working on yourself. Number 5 is I want you to start forgiving. I know that it's easier said than done. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's hard. But forgive. Not because of that situation or because of that person, but because of yourself. The amount of times you feel so much hatred towards the situation and to the person, that can lead you to wanting to take revenge, holding on to unwanted validation, unwanted attention. trying to fill that void, using that situation to fill voids inside of you, is the longer you are gonna start hurting yourself, and the longer you're gonna punish yourself even more. Start thinking for yourself. When you forgive, don't think about it as, oh, I'm just gonna do it because I have to, but start doing it because you have to do it for yourself. It is the only way you're gonna heal. It is the only way you're gonna learn, and that you're gonna find the peace you are deserving of. Now listen, I have felt the same way. I have completely felt the same way when I was rejected. But the day and the moment I started setting myself to work on myself, and I started changing my mind and started finding routines, productive routines, and things that could help me heal, grow, and learn, and things that could help me reclaim my self-love, my worth, to find myself again, and to reclaim my self-love, and to actually cut out every distraction and thoughts of this person and of what had happened. I was able to find myself eventually. I was able to find myself again. I was able to understand myself more. I was able to see that there's a reason why this had happened, and I was able to see that this was meant for me, and that God was showing me the growth and the lesson I needed to learn from this experience in order to find the space in my life for the good things, to make the space in my life for the good things that's supposed to come in. It even led me to where I am even kickstarting my goals that I've set out for myself for such a long time, to start this YouTube channel, to record videos like this, to help people and show you that no matter what situation you are going through or situation you find yourself in, it is possible for change, it is possible for healing, and there is a possibility for growth. But remember, never think of it as life or it as threatening or just hurting you on purpose, but that there is something you should be learning out of this, and try and find what the lesson is. That is the day I started finding peace within myself again, and I started growing, and I started loving me more. I want you to remember right now that healing takes time. And remember, it is not one size fits all, but that you don't need to carry that pain and that hurt forever in your life, because you are absolutely deserving of love, success, joy, even when people can't even see your worth. That brings us to the end of another video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope that when you leave this video and made it all the way to the end, I just want to tell you I am proud of you. You have made it, and you are taking the steps to love yourself, to care for yourself, and show yourself that it is possible for change. I want you to start understanding, and when I want you to watch this video, or that you've made it to the end, I want you to leave this video feeling so empowered and reminded of how worthy and loving you are, and how deserving of so much joy and success you are in your life, even when other people can't even see it, or other people can't even admit how good you are, and how amazing you are. I want you to also share this video with anyone who needs it. I want you to leave in the comments any more tips that you would want me to make or share with you guys that has helped me on my growth and is still helping me to this day. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and remember that you are worthy and completely deserving of all the good things that needs to come into your life. Please also share your experiences, share your stories. I'm happy to hear more, and I'm happy to see more. If you want more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe once again, and I will see you in the next one.